Hey, it's Matthew Arthur, seasoned entrepreneur. Here's a story for you all. So about a year or so ago, when I was a lot newer with the marketing agency that I have now, I wanted to offer a Google Ads service, but I really had no idea what I was doing. So there was a connection who I had connected with on Upwork. He came across as a very well-established Google Ads expert. And I think his standard price was about 1K USD a month, which is standard for like a solid, really good delivery. That included landing page build out, Google conversion tracking, Google Ads, all this nerdy stuff. So I signed a client for me, one of my clients, and then I spoke with this Google Ads expert. We negotiated and had some discussion and reached an agreement where he would not charge 1K. I think it was like something really small at first, like 200 a month, on the understanding that as I get more clients, I could get him more work. Now, when that happened, fireworks went off. I thought, this is amazing. I've got a client who's paid me money. I've got this Google Ads expert who's doing it for a really good price because it's going to also be like a long-term thing. I'm just going to provide an amazing service for this client that I signed on. Yeah, that's not how it turned out. So what actually happened was that nothing got done on time. His communication was terrible. The idea was that he would build out the landing page as well as the Google Ads build out, which is for the price is hilarious, but it doesn't matter. That's what we sort of agreed to. Then things weren't getting done. It just wasn't happening. At one point he said, I can't remember if he said this for future gigs or for this specific job, but basically tried to get out of doing the landing page and said, it's not my favorite part of the process. It was overall a disaster. But the worst part was because I was relying on this expert and I didn't have the skills or knowledge, I was in a very stressful and bad position. I don't work with him anymore, and I have nothing against him, by the way. Everyone has different situations. What I will say is it was my fault for just wanting to outsource the biggest problems and we'll just sort of pay someone else. I don't have to learn about that. They'll take care of it. They'll do the job. Outsourcing too early, at least specific functions, like your core service too early, big mistake. Now what I do is I know the nuts and bolts. I know how to run a Google Ads campaign. I know how to build out a website. I know how to run Facebook ads. I've learned all the stuff myself. Doesn't mean there's others who can't do it better than me. Doesn't mean there's people can work with me and do a better job. But now I have the confidence that I don't need to rely on someone else if something happened and people who were supposed to do the job weren't able to do it. That just means that I've got to get my hands dirty and get the job done. But that's much less stressful, and it's a much bigger confidence boost knowing that it would just be a time cost and I can still keep my business running, still provide a top service because I've learned the skills and I've got the knowledge, and I've created standard operating procedures and instructions and all that kind of stuff as well. Here's another thing, outsourcing too early. I should caveat this. There's outsourcing, but then there's also, you can be smart about it, whether you pay an agency to do something so you can say, hey, you do it, but I want to see how you do it so I can take the learning so then I can apply it to my business. That's not a bad idea actually. Or outsourcing a very specific thing because it's you might find it extremely challenging. But again, I think it has to be done under the pretense that you're going to outsource it with the intention of being able to learn it yourself, or at least have some basic understanding or instructions somewhere so you can actually leverage the learning. So it's not that you're just paying someone to do the work. What you're more paying for is someone to do the work, but the education piece that you can get value from, you can continue to get value from. Now, this doesn't apply to all business models. I'm sure there are some things where it's just outsource. You just outsource specific things because it makes sense. As an example, I don't do the gardening. I don't mow the lawns. I just outsource that. I pay someone to do it. If we're talking your core service, based on my experience, I think it's a very bad idea to be outsourcing the core elements of your service when you don't fully understand it yourself. Here's another reason as well, is that when it's your business, you are motivated to do the best job. It's your business on the line. It's your personal brand on the line. You've got everything to win and everything to lose by not doing a good job. But if you're just outsourcing to someone else, you can't expect that contractor to have the same motivation and the same desire to succeed and do an excellent job as you with your business, because he or she's got surely other clients. He or she's got his or her own business. It would be unreasonable to expect that from them. Also, other people can just be unreliable. That doesn't mean you don't hire other people. Absolutely you do. But when there's that risk of people being unreliable, you don't want to be relying 100% on that. If you understand your core service and how it works yourself, so that if worse comes to worse, you just get in and get your hands dirty. Maybe you just get less sleep. You stay up later and get some work done. Or maybe you just reallocate work and go, okay, well, this part of the service was going to be delivered by a contractor or a team member, but for whatever reason, I need to do it. You'll just figure out how to do it. But if you've not done it before and you don't know how to deliver the service, you have nowhere to go. And I've been there, and that's not a good position to be in. So, moral of the story, with your core service, learn how to do it yourself. Don't just pay someone to take it off your plate. Terrible, terrible idea. Hope this was helpful. Bye-bye.